There are sober men in plenty, there are drunkards barely 20, there are men now over 90 who have never yet kissed a girl.
Welcome to Get Folked. This is a podcast about folk music. So let's begin.
Give me the rambling rover, and from Orkney down to Dover, we'll roam the country over, and together we'll face the world.
Geur en een krakje met je gauwen. Geur en een bullen met je klikken. Geur en een krakje met je gauwen. Die brand gaat ik aan, maar de gin is alles jou. Die brand gaat ik aan, maar de laatste lampen. Die brand gaat ik aan, maar de gin is alles jou. Die brand gaat ik aan, maar de laatste lampen. Geur en een bullen met je klikken. Geur en een krakje met je gauwen. Geur en een ballen met je klikken. Geur en een krakje met je gauwen. Die brand gaat ik aan, maar de gin is alles jou. Die brand gaat ik aan, maar de laatste lampen. Die brand gaat ik aan, maar de gin is alles jou. Die brand gaat ik aan, maar de laatste lampen.
That was Eilean Mor. Played here in Tassie, a gig in my garage in January 2007. Ruth Martin certainly led the band. It included Chris Stone and Holly Downs, who are now co-artistic directors of the National Folk Festival. So, we're going to play another track from that. But we've got a special show today because I'm closing off with an interview I did with Dick Gaughan in 2007. Now, 2 or 3 years ago, Dick had a stroke. He'll never play again. He's legally blind. And this coming Sunday, Celtic Connections have got a benefit for him, a concert. And, so it's a bit more about that later on. So here's another track. So we've had Chaorainn from Eilean Mor. We're going to have Edinburgh Hogmanay. And I suppose you're just going to have to wait and see what comes after that. You're listening to Get Folked.
The cold seeps through your clothes, grabs fingers, touch your skin. The wind plays tag with rubbish in a bin. The colourless apartments, forbidding and grim, but don't be fooled by the sights. Music's in the sound. Music's in the sound. Rain patters down on the roofs, on the streets. Tires on wet cobbles, drumming odd sounding beat. The roar of the buses, the people as they speak. But don't be fooled by the sights. Music's in the sound. Music's in the sound. There's a woman on a corner in the cold wintry dusk. She sells a big issue just to make a crust. Come on lady, buy it, it's a pound, it's a must. But don't be fooled by the sights. Music's in the sound. Music's in the sound. Lights from the roundabout reflecting puddles on the path that leads to the stairs, to the mound and the grass. A beggar sits forlorn and a piper plays a march. But don't be fooled by the sights. Music's in the sound. Music's in the sound. Solid as a rock, the castle sitting high. Cannons in the new year while old lang syne. Echoes in the gardens, carries in the sky. But don't be fooled by the sights. Music's in the sound. Music's in the sound. Music's in the sound.
Next, we're going to have a couple of tracks from Folk Uke. We're talking about Kathy Guthrie and Amy Nelson, who are daughters of very famous musicians. And that would be Arlo Guthrie and Willie Nelson, just in case you didn't know. And we've come off Eilean Mor, the Canberra-based group, but now when we get into folk uke, it's a little rougher. You can be surprised. 2 tracks. The first one, Shit Makes the Flowers Grow. And the second one is Tonight You Belong to Me. And Tonight You Belong to Me is probably more of a standard, but most of their material is like that title, Shit Makes the Flowers Grow. I saw them at the Blue Mountains Music Festival in 2017. In that concert bracket, Dog Trumpet were on the same bill, and the two groups combined for some very, very entertaining music. Don't forget, coming up on Get Folked is an interview with Dick Gaughan and some of his music.
Purpose, and I think you ought to know. Shit makes the flowers grow. Oh, shit makes the flowers grow. I wondered why you're here, but now I know. Shit makes the flowers grow. I'm a dainty little flower, alone in the snow. And you've got the power to fertilize my soul. Shit makes the flowers grow. Oh, shit makes the flowers grow. I wondered why you're here, but now I know. Shit makes the flowers grow. Body, and the sun warms my bones. But I know karate. I should have studied it for 8 years. Shit makes the flowers grow. Oh, shit makes the flowers grow. Oh, shit makes the flowers grow. I know you belong to somebody new, but tonight you belong
listening to Get Folked. It's a podcast by me, Roger Joseph, based in Tassie, and playing music from all over the place. Now, old Man Luedecke has been to Tasmania, I suppose Australia first, then Tasmania second, many times, and way back, actually I can't remember when he was here, when we did a show with him at the Derwent Sailing Squadron. We had a couple of other gigs for him. He stayed here a couple of nights, and old Man Luedecke, Chris Luedecke, is a really, really fine person, a wonderful songwriter, and presents a terrific show. From his Proof of Life CD, I'm going to play two tracks, Proof of Life and Big Group Breakfast. Yep, anytime you can get to see him. And he was here at the Cygnet Folk Festival just this last weekend, which is why I'm a little late putting this together. It should have been done Monday of this week. But never mind. Here's Old Man Luedecke.
Well, she come dancing up the middle like the cats in the fiddle by the light of the moon. Just when I'd given up hope, I could barely cope. She didn't come too soon, and I thought, hey diddle diddle, now isn't this a riddle? It's a proof of love. When the cakes hit the griddle, we'll dance a little jiggle by the stars above. Call this world our own. And all I want is to be a little part of the things that I love. All I want to make a little start at the things that I love. Seems there's lots of things that I could love. Well, Zoe says, begging your pardon, been her Victory Garden in the month of June. She finds Lonzy on dreams of suburban farming coming up soon. And she's the spirit of the age, she's a breaker of the cage, she's a proof of love. When the cakes hit the griddle, we'll dance a little jiggle by the stars above. All this world our own. All I want is to be a little part of the things that I love. All I want to make a little start at the things that I love. Seems there's lots of things that I could love. He likes to stay at home, build model trains. But when he gets to Barney's River, he gets a thrill he can't explain. As a thrill, riding through the hills, following the river and the train track, like he's in a model set. The feeling he gets is a proof of love. We call this world his own. And all I want is to be a little part of the things that I love. All I want to make a little start at the things that I love. Seems there's lots of things that I could love. Gets himself rolling, he's jaded but he's faded on a hot afternoon. He can be a bit grim, but there's records for him that'll make him swoon. And when he's home, all alone with the headphones on, he's a proof of love. When the cakes hit the griddle, we'll dance a little jiggle by the stars above. All this world our own. All I want is to be a little part of the things that I love. All I want to make a little start at the things that I love. Seems there's lots of things that I could love. Seems there's lots of things that I could love. Was a big group breakfast like so many others. Had our eggs and we got each other. Merits of towns and good hash browns. Morning winds up while the evening winds down. There's sun in the steam of the coffee cups. It lingers round the table and warms us up. Where will you go next and what do you do? Really nice last night having drinks with you. You might be nostalgic about this, and that's just one small part of bliss. mopping up yolks, starting to feel like pretty fine folk. No need to talk much in the woozy spaces, 'cause there's understanding on our boozy faces. You might be nostalgic about this, that's just one small part of bliss. And as you go around life's bends, hope there's always a breakfast at the end. I get through with this, I get through with this, I get through with this. Na, 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 na. Well, the table is littered with jams and creamers. The booth is tight-packed with tight-faced beamers. And all of the paths that we will take, we leave the cafe and a breakfast break. You might be nostalgic about this, that's just one small part of bliss. And as you go around life's bends, hope there's always a breakfast at the end. I get through with this, I get through with this, I get through with this. Na, 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 na.
Well, I can tell you that Get Folked is a podcast of contrasts, and you've already experienced some of that. Now, back in 2013, I helped Josephina Paulsson on her first tour, assisted with the visa and a few gigs, and she certainly came here to Tassie and played a most amazing concert. Now, I would have thought a nickel harper and a solo performer, what could there be in that? But it was enchanting and absolutely brilliant. The only CD I have is of Jonas Akerlund and Josephina Paulsson from way, way back there in 2013. She's got more since. I'm just going to play one track. She was at the Signet Folk Festival this last weekend and played to rave reviews. You're listening to Get Folked. I'm Roger, and here is Josephina Paulsson. Josephina Paulsen and Jonas Akerlund with Bondpolska. Josephina playing the nickel harper. And she's a Swedish national treasure on the nickel harper. Great stuff. But now we move into the Dick Gaughan story. Back in 2007, I had the privilege of spending close to 24 hours with Dick, and I interviewed him. We promoted and produced a concert for him, and that has stayed with me forever. Here in my office, I look up and there's a photo of me with Dick Gaughan at what was then known as the Brookfield Shed, and fond memories. It was actually my very first concert that I promoted. Made it seem so easy. Still, Dick Gaughan has fallen on hard times from a health perspective, and this Sunday, 18th of January, there's a Celtic Connections benefit for him in Scotland. Whole host of stars. We can't be there, but we can at least listen to some of this interview, and I'll play the balance of it in the next podcast. So I think I've called this episode 3. I think the next one is going to be episode, let's make it 4, shall we? There's a massive fundraising effort, and I have ordered, and it's in the post, an 8 CD set of previously unreleased live recordings of Dick Gaughan. Now, I've already got one bonus CD that arrived a month or so ago, and I'll play a track from that at the end, but just tracks I'll play from Outlaws and Dreamers that I got way back in 2007 when he was here. So let's listen to Dick Gaughan. Privileged to have with me today a chap called Dick Gaughan.
Hello.
Now, Dick, your reputation precedes you. It seems to me that you're that you're a legend in your homeland and 3/4 of the way around the world.
Somebody once said, I think it might have been, I suspect it was Miles Davis, once said, when they start using the L word about you, you know you're getting old.
No, I might leave that one there, because when it comes to that L word, the concert tonight, this is September here in Hobart, and your concert tonight is sold out, standing room only. So there's got to be something to your reputation.
They've never heard me. That's what it is. They've never heard me. Somebody told them to come.
So this is your first visit to Tasmania.
It is indeed, yes.
So you were surprised that so many people have sort of crawled onto the ticket machine.
Well, I am, because I've never been here before, you know, and it's excuse me. I always presume that nobody's ever heard of me, which is the safest way to proceed. So if I go somewhere I've never been before, and I walk out to play and there are people there, I'm always kind of, you know, taken aback by it, almost. You know. Pleased, I'm thrilled.
It's a bonus.
Yeah, but you think, who are you and why are you here?
Well, you could ask them tonight.
I probably will do.
You've been playing to audiences for quite some time. It's around about 30 years or more.
This is my 38th year as a pro. Turned pro January 1970. It's a long time.
That's a long time. Now, before then, you were telling me that you grew up in a musical family, and you picked up the guitar from a family of fiddle players.
On my father's side of the family are Irish. My mother's side is probably where the singing comes from, because she was a Scots Gaelic singer. She was a Highlander. And my father's parents were Irish. And my grandfather was a fiddle player, his father was a fiddle player, his father was a fiddle player, and his father was a flute player. And my father played fiddle, started out playing fiddle, and then took up guitar in the 1950s. And my granny played melodeon. And everybody sang or played something. You know, there was nothing considered strange about it. You know, in fact, I considered it strange if people said to me they didn't play anything or they didn't sing. I thought, that's weird. How can you be like that? Because to us it was perfectly natural. And so I grew up with those two strands of traditional music, from the Irish side and from the Highland side. And then through my father was passionate about two things: country music and jazz. And he played both. He had a kind of country, in those days they called it country and western. And he and my uncle, his brother built pedal steels and played them before anybody had ever knew what a pedal steel guitar was.
Someone like him, he was tall and strong and lean, with a body like a greyhound and a mind so sharp and keen. But his heart, just like a laurel, grew twisted around itself, till almost everything he did brought pain to someone else. Well, it's not just what you're born with, it's what you choose to be. It's not how big your share is, but how much you can share. And it's not the fights you dreamed of, but those you really fought. It's not just what you're given, it's what you do with what you've got. And what's the use of two strong legs if you only run away? And what use is the finest voice if you've nothing good to say? What good is strength and muscle if you only push and shove? And what's the use of two good ears if you can't hear those you love? And it's not just what you're born with, it's what you choose to be. It's not how big your share is, but how much you can share. And it's not the fights you dreamed of, but those you really fought. It's not just what you're given, it's what you do with what you've got. Between those who use their neighbours and those who use a cane, between those in constant power and those in constant pain, between those who run to evil and those who cannot run, tell me which ones are the cripples and which ones touch the sun. And it's not just what you're born with, it's what you choose to be. It's not how big your share is, but how much you can share. It's not the fights you dreamed of, but those you really fought. It's not just what you're given, it's what you do with what you've got. And what's the use of two strong legs if you only run away? And what use is the finest voice if you've nothing good to say? What good is strength and muscle if you only push and shove? And what's the use of two good ears if you can't hear those you love? And it's not just what you're born with, it's what you choose to be. It's not how big your share is, but how much you can share. And it's not the fights you dreamed of, but those you really fought. It's not just what you're given, it's what you do with what you've got.
So when I was about 5, I remember picking up a mandolin. There was one, why it was in the house I don't know, but I picked up the mandolin and started playing around with it. And then once I was older, when I got to about 7, my fingers were big enough to be able to cope with a guitar neck. So I started playing on that. And it wasn't something that, that I ever gave any great deal of attention to. It was something that I did. It felt natural to me. It just felt completely natural to play guitar. And I didn't seem to have to sit down and study it or anything. I just kind of developed
Oh, there's people who would
over
kill
years.
for that.
No, but seriously,
Yeah.
over years of playing, it just seemed to develop. Throughout my childhood, that I would listen to people, and I seem to have that kind of brain. I would listen to somebody, and I would know how they were doing what they were doing. So I listened to records of Doc Watson and people like that, and I understood what they were doing. Why, I don't know. It's just the way my mind works, I think. But I did understand what they were doing, so I was able to
talent.
sit down and I could replicate what they were doing, or try to, and just practice it until. I spent hours and hours. When other kids were out playing football, I was sitting battering away on the guitar.
As I dreamed out one evening by a river of discontent, a bump straight into old Tom Payne was running down the road he went. Said, I can't stop right now, child. King George is after me. He'd have a rope around my throat and hang me on the Liberty Tree. And I will dance to Tom Payne's bones. I'll dance to Tom Payne's bones. Dance in the oldest boots I own to the rhythm of Tom Payne's bones. I will dance to Tom Payne's bones. Dance to Tom Payne's bones. Dance in the oldest boots I own to the rhythm of Tom Payne's bones. Well, I only talked about freedom and justice for everyone. But since the very first one I spoke, I've been looking down the barrel of a gun. And they say I preached revolution. Let me say in my defense that all I did wherever I went was to talk a lot of common sense. And I will dance to Tom Payne's bones. Dance to Tom Payne's bones. Dance in the oldest boots I own to the rhythm of Tom Payne's bones. I will dance to Tom Payne's bones. Dance to Tom Payne's bones. Dance in the oldest boots I own to the rhythm of Tom Payne's bones. Well, old Tom Payne, he ran so fast, he left me standing still. And then I was a piece of paper in my hand, standing at the top of the hill. And it said, this is the age of reason. These are the rights of man. Kick off religion and monarchy. It was written in Tom Payne's plan. And I will dance to Tom Payne's bones. We'll dance to Tom Payne's bones. Dance in the oldest boots I own to the rhythm of Tom Payne's bones. I will dance to Tom Payne's bones. Dance to Tom Payne's bones. Dance in the oldest boots I own to the rhythm of Tom Payne's bones. Well, old Tom Payne, there he lies. Nobody laughs, nobody cries. Where he's gone or how he fares, nobody knows, nobody cares. But I will dance to Tom Payne's bones. I'll dance to Tom Payne's bones. Dance in the oldest boots I own to the rhythm of Tom Payne's bones. I will dance to Tom Payne's bones. I'll dance to Tom Payne's bones. Dance in the oldest boots I own to the rhythm of Tom Payne's bones. I will dance to Tom Payne's bones. I'll dance to Tom Payne's bones. Dance in the oldest boots I own to the rhythm of Tom Payne's bones. I will dance to Tom Payne's bones. I'll dance to Tom Payne's bones. Dance in the oldest boots I own to the rhythm of Tom Payne's bones.
I was in my first band when I was 14, and it was a Beatles band. We played all the Beatles songs, and that was great fun. A school band, and then I went from there. 14. First time I played and sang in public on my own, I was 17, and then bounced in and out. Just started doing session work. I got a bit of session work from studios in Edinburgh, and playing with other people until I finally developed enough confidence just to to do it on my own. It took me a couple of years, and I survived. When I turned pro, I survived on mostly doing sessions and accompanying other people. You know, and served an apprenticeship being an accompanist. And
so what was the catalyst that took you from being a guitarist to a vocalist, and then from being a guitarist / vocalist to a songwriter?
Well, I started out, I didn't have much confidence in my vocal abilities because I thought of myself as a guitar player. It was the first thing. But then I realised that I had all this stuff that I'd learned, all these songs that I'd learned through my childhood that I'd never really paid a great deal of attention to.
These were traditional songs?
Mostly, yeah.
Yep.
And started taking residencies in pubs and hotels in Edinburgh doing the 2-hour session. And you had to have a hell of a turnaround of material because you're doing a residency in a pub. You're doing it 2-3 nights a week. Your repertoire's got to keep up. And so I went through a ferocious period from probably about 18 to 21 of just learning songs almost daily.
Now these were traditional songs?
Anything and everything.
Anything and everything.
Yeah, because there was some. You quickly learn, if you're doing that kind of gig, you learn that if you do things that are popular that the audience want to hear, you know, and there was stuff like Tom Paxton's songs and the Clancy Brothers songs, people like that, and Dylan's stuff. And if you did them, you could drink all night. And it was also really good for pulling women. You know, if somebody could come up and go, you know, can you sing the last thing on my mind? You know, straight, it's a lesson too late. Particularly if she was pretty. So it was that kind of time. It was there was. I look back on it, I think it was a completely magical era. I'm glad I was there. I'm glad I was part of it. There are a few advantages in being born in Scotland, believe it or not. One of them is to be able to understand the poetry of Robert Burns. This is one of Burns' songs. One of his songs that he wrote about the inhumanity of the human race to everything else that lives on the planet. Very subtly disguised as a kind of a love song. Down the Westlin Winds and slaughter guns bring autumn's pleasant weather. Woodcock wing strings on wedding wings among the blue heather. Now waiting grain winds on the plain, the lights the weedy farmer. The moon shines bright when I go the night to muse upon my charmer. The partridge loves the fruitful fells, plover loves the mountains, the woodcock hunts the lonely dells, soaring out the fountains. Through lofty groves, the cushioned roves, the path of man to shun at, the hazel bush o'erhangs the marsh, spreading for the linland. Thus every kind of pleasure finds the savage and the tender. Some social join and aches combine, some solitary
bunt away the cruel sway, tyrannic man's dominion, the sportsman's joy, the murdering cry, the fluttering goalie pinion. But Peggy dear, the evening's clear, swift rise, the sky swallow. The sky is blue, the fields are blue, all faded green and yellow. Come, let us stray your gladsome way and view the charms of nature, the rustling corn, the flitted thorn, and the great happy creature. We'll gently walk and sweet talk till the silent shine clearly. I'll grasp thy waist and fondly press, swear I love thee dearly. Not vernal showers to budding flowers, not autumn to the flower, so dear can be as thou to me, my fair, my child.
In Scotland at that time, there was this incredible explosion of discovery of our, I think possibly due to the previous 200 years of our history, where our identity had been oppressed. And suddenly in the 1960s there was this explosion of rediscovery of what being Scottish meant and who the Scots are, what our culture is, what our languages are, you know, our whole tradition. And it was wonderful to be part of that. And I still get this, I can still sit and smile about it when I think back and just think what a privilege it was to be there. You know?
Now, with the development of you as a vocalist, did you have any voice training, any singing lessons?
Oh, no.
So did you learn that or just do that by yourself, the voice projection, your range and your technique?
Yeah, I mean, the techniques you learn from listening to other singers. I mean, when I say I had no training in formal singing, which I see as a good thing. If I'd wanted to be a formal singer, if I'd wanted to sing opera, then I would have had to go and study opera. But I didn't. I wanted to sing traditional music, so I studied traditional music. And exactly the same way as I mean, you could actually teach yourself to become an opera singer by listening to all the great opera singers, and if you had that kind of mind, you could learn their techniques and learn all that stuff. The teacher is only there to pass on what the lessons that have been learned through common practice of the great opera singers.
Tends to shortcut the learning process.
That's right.
Yeah.
But the danger then is that you end up becoming a clone and come off this kind of production line belt of singers who are all being taught in exactly the same way. The beauty of traditional music and traditional song is that I can't tell you how to do it right. I can only tell you if you're doing it wrong. Because there is no right or wrong. There is only... You have to have an understanding of the aesthetics of the music. There are no rules, but there are very strong aesthetics. And the older traditional singers that I learned from understood what those aesthetics were. And they could improvise, take incredible liberties with melody and structure, rhythm, the whole bit, and they would do it within the aesthetics of the music. I mean, traditional music is one of the things that people always seem to miss about it, is that traditional music was an improvising music. you have the structure of the song, and there are certain parameters that you have to learn aesthetically, what is acceptable variation and what is not. There are no rules laid down. It's not something you can teach somebody. It's something it's only something they can learn for themselves.
And there's more to come from Dick Gaughan in the next episode. Very, very interesting man, full of humanity, and he really deserves and needs the work that's going in. So there are, I think, 800 copies of the 8 CD set previously unreleased, and I've been proud to kick in and be a part of this movement. But I can also share all of that music with you. Again, this is Get Folked. It's on Podbean. And as I said before, we've just had the Cygnet Folk Festival here in Tasmania. A chap called Scott Cook was there. I've seen Scott Cook a few times, and this is a song, or there's a song that I really, really like. And when I was on community radio, I used to finish the show with this song. So I will do that again today. But we'll start off with a standard, Will the Circle Be Unbroken? Scott Cook from Canada spends a lot of time here in Australia, and we'll finish off with The Kid with the Comic Book, and we'll see you for episode 4. Thanks for listening.
It's anybody's guess out in the campground. The Banana Man's got a new dance. By the drum circle, there's a drunk circle. They say play something we can sing, but they can't. They talk this one guy into American Pie, and then me and Bobby McGee, the poor kid. When they sang, you can check out anytime you like. We took a hint, we did. We followed the call of a doghouse bass, the promise of new songs and sounds. And we stumbled upon a cluster folk, a bunch of folk buddies just folking around. They had concertinas and auto harps, singing hey ho, blow the man down. And it won't be long till she'll be coming around the mountain when she comes around. Will the circle be unbroken? Has broken up a few, and if I hear I'll fly away again, that's just what I might do. Somebody says, yo, play something we know, and the lonely hearts whisper, play something new. And that guy with a djembe, just a campfire away, he wanna jam it with you. Oh yeah, he wanna jam it with you. Some songs just need putting out to pasture. Hang up the jersey in the rafters. They served till it hurt, they were well overworked. They earned their sweet hereafter. I wish Sally's Mustang was impounded and the wagon wheel rolled off eternally. I won't be redeemed by a redemption song, and please don't put the weight right on me. Will the circle be unbroken? Has broken up a few, and if I hear I'll fly away again, that's just what I might do. Somebody says, yo, play something we know, and the lonely hearts whisper, play something new. That guy with a djembe, just a campfire away, he wanna jam it with you. Oh yeah, he wanna jam it with you. I realize it's a matter of perspective, but a guy's gotta draw a line somewhere. Then again I read some scientist said every possible universe is already there. So when that fella started singing Oasis. And up till then I hadn't took him for a fool. Rather than be ungracious, I believed in an alternate universe in which that's cool. Will the circle be unbroken? Has broken up a few. And if I hear I'll fly away again, that's just what I might do. Somebody says, yo, play something at least you know. And the lonely heart's a whisper, play something new. And that guy with the djembe still just a campfire away. He wanna jam it with you. Yeah, man, he wanna jam it with you. Lord have mercy, he wanna jam it with you. He wanna jam it with you. The earth was shipped in a cellophane wrapper to a godlike kid by galactic courier. He'd place an order from the back of a comic book he'd read when he should have been in school. He had a project due in his socio-anthro, eco-geo, bio, and creationism course that he should have been working on instead of playing games with his gang of omnipotent pals. The project was due in 100,000 years, which can hardly be construed as enough time to populate a planet with intelligent beings who can live in a self-sustaining way. But he saw in the comic book an ad for a planet with a species on the brink of developing intelligence that could be shipped in a cellophane wrapper, and he thought, it's my ticket to an A. Now it might seem to you like 100,000 years is a long time, but if you just consider that the kid with the comic book would see 100,000 years pass like the twinkle of a star. So the kid put the earth on his desk in his bedroom underneath a heat lamp that he kept on a timer. On his walls he had made constellations using stickers that were stars that could glow in the dark. And he worked as a species on the brink of intelligence. Grew, found fire, built bombs, and exploded them. He cried when he learned the killing was so often interspersed with the praising of his name. So the kid with the comic book turned on the heat lamp, took a magnifying glass from his leftmost cupboard, and he looked to the earth, picked a symbolic bush, and focused and set it on fire. And when the bush was burning, the people got the message, and the leaders agreed to take responsibility and base their actions on accountability and promise that they'd try to get along. So the kid took the earth to his teacher, who looked and saw good work and the room for improvement. Not a bad first try, B+, and excitement for your many more creations still to come. And now the earth lies wrapped in bubble wrap there on the floor of the closet of the kid with the comic book. His mother checks in every now and then to ensure that things will work out in the end. And so everything will work out in the end.
And that's all there is. See you next time.